Hamo Somoja, or Somoja, Somaj. Founded 1830, the Brahmo Samaj movement, also called Brahmanism or Brahmanism, was founded by Raja Ram Mohan Roy, 1774-1883, in 1830. Its main object was to fight idolatrous rites and practices, and by many, it has been described as the Hindu Unitarian Church. The chief achievement of Ram Mohan Roy was the abolition by Lord William Bentinck of the practice of sati, sacrifice of the widow on the funeral pyre of her husband. Ram Mohan Roy's principles were theistic. He had also for several years studied Lamanism in the Himalayas. Having come to England in 1830, he was received with much honor by many sections of society and entertained by Louis Philippe. He was considered a great authority by all those who at the time were conducting spiritualist and psychic researches. He died at Bristol. A great impulse was given to the Brahmo Samaj by Devendra Nath Tagore, also written, Devendranath Tagore, who had joined in, hold on, Devendranath Tagore, who had joined it in 1842 and is considered as its second founder. Owing to his effects, the institution became purely theistic, giving up the authority of the Vedas and eliminating the Vedantic element from the Brahmic covenant. In 1856, Devendranath Tagore had also gone to the Himalayas, where he spent 3 years as a disciple of the Tibetan Lamas. Later, he was joined in his work by his friend Kashub Chundar Sen, who, however, in 1863, devoured by the ambition of becoming a sole leader, attacked the Samaj, heading what one might call the revolt of the young Brahmanists, and with his followers seceded from the mother organization. The schism gave rise to the formation of another Samaj, which was directed by Kashub Chunder Sen under the name Samaj of India, whereas the former organization remaining under the leadership of Debanandra Nath Tagore was called Adi Samaj, or Original Church. It was also named conservative in opposition to the new institution termed progressive. Kashub Chunder Sen retained power in the organization. The foundation stone of the Samaj of India Church was laid at Hamamabakur in Calcutta in 1868. In 1870, he journeyed to England, where he was enthusiastically received by the spiritualist centers of the day and succeeded in exciting much interest in the political, social, and religious affairs of India. In 1878, his disregard for the rules of the Samaj regarding Hindu marriages, which he infringed in the matter of the wedding of his own daughter to the young Maharaja of Kuch Behar, caused another split in the ranks of the Samaj of India. The dissidents. No, it's descendants. No, it's not. It's the dissidents then formed the Sadraharan Brahmo Samaj. The career of Kashub Chunder Sen must be followed with interest by students of theosophy. Therein will they find many of the odd principles and injunctions laid down by H.P. Blavatsky and Annie Besant. For instance, the theocratic system was that promoted by Kashub Chunder Sen in his efforts to found a universal religion which would unite all creeds and symbols: the Christian cross, the crescent, the Vedic Om, the Savas trident, and the Vaishnavas Kunti, by means of imaginary pilgrimages. He led his by means of imaginary pilgrimages, he led his adherents successfully to the shrines of Moses, Buddha, to the Himalayan heights of and Lama teachers, to Jesus, and to Muhammad. Similarly to Annie Besant's Krishnamurti, he allowed himself to be worshipped as the savior of sinners. His theory was the reincarnation of great men, of which he was one. Further, he complacently allowed his followers to raise him to the dignity of a deity. As the Kashub Chunder Sen's worship increased, there grew also the dogma of divine injunction. A salient feature of Kashub's teaching was the belief or blind faith in the revelations claimed to have been made to invisible teachers and spiritual guides, and exaction of blind obedience to their commands. We are forcibly reminded of the claim made by H.B. Blavatsky to her followers to sign their blind acceptance of all orders presumably received from invisible masters like her Kut Humi. Another feature which later distinguished Kashub Chunder Sen's devotees was the bhakti side of their religion. Unlike yoga, the old Hindu type of religious meditation or contemplation, bhakti, which has been chiefly developed by the followers of Chaitanya in India, is a manifestation of religious frenzy. It spurns the aspiration to approach God by concentration of thought and desire, as well as silent communion, which they deem unprofitable and vain. The philosophy of bhakti is that the love of God must be strong to the point of being maddening. It therefore induces dancing, sobbing, swooning. The more frenzied the manifestations, the greater the religious perfection. A great bhakti is one who, like the founder of the school, shows the greatest religious madness. Women devotees of Kashub Chunder Sen's following were formed into a sisterhood in 1881, and one hears of Ladies' Journeys to the Spiritual Land. The readers of Inquire Within will remember the description of journeys in the astral claimed to have been accomplished by women adepts of the Stella Matutina order. Soon after, also in 1881, young men were likewise formed into a brotherhood and were initiated into different holy orders. In both cases, the number of initiates was 11. The ceremony of initiation was called New Horn, Sacred Fire, or Blazing Agni. Most of the rites are found in the different branches of Theosophy and Anthroposophy. I can't say that word. All centered around its sacred fire, also named Kundalini. Yeah. In 1880, Kashub Chunder Sen had given his organization another name, that of the New Dispensation. It is in the Societas Rosicruciana in Anglia, that one must seek the amalgamation of Jewish Kabbalah magic and Hindu magic. The latter swept over Europe with the spread of Theosophy and flourished particularly in England. There it had found a ground in 1830 with the teachings given by Ram Mohan Roy to the spiritualists of that day, with whom he had formed a Brahmo Samaj circle. All right.